What's going on, everybody? It's Noah, and in today's episode of The Rise Method, I want to present to you a quote from Nikola Tesla. And the quote goes like this. It says, "If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." So what exactly did one of the greatest minds of all time mean when he said this? Well, it alludes to the fact that all matter, everything tangible, everything we see, everything that manifests in our reality is at some level vibrating. Now we may not see that with our eyes, but if we narrow down, if we focus down at the atomic level, we see that all of this matter, all of this material is mostly immaterial energy. It's mostly space. Okay, in the Vedic scriptures and understanding the elements, the fundamental elements of the universe, this was the element of ether or akasha, space, and it permeates all of the other four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. Okay, it is the quintessential element. In another sense, that's representative of consciousness or awareness. So when we're discussing all is vibration, why that's important, why you want to know this, is because you are vibrating. You are emitting a vibe. You are walking around with a vibe every second of your life. Each and every cell and the atoms in those cells are vibrating or emitting a particular frequency. And those frequencies of those cells assimilate to make your unified electromagnetic field an aura that you are walking with in the world and emitting every second of your life. And so as you're walking with this vibe, this vibration, as you're living in a particular vibration, you are resonating or dissonating with particular conditions and circumstances. You attract or repel certain conditions or circumstances based on how you are vibrating. So if you are in a place where you'd like to change a particular condition or circumstance, if you want to become healthier, become wealthier, become more successful, experience more peace, you have to change your vibration, change who you're being. Now, how exactly do you do that? Well, one way in which it's taught, and I would say this is leading people astray, it is to repeatedly repeat incantations or affirmations without necessarily doing the inner work first. And what I mean by that is doing sort of the shadow work, the realization of the limiting beliefs by which you've been living, but now you'd like to change that. This is the first phase of the RISE method, the recognition or the realization. So what can happen is people can start to make a change or want to make a change, and they just list out all of these affirmations. They start speaking to themselves, screaming it to themselves, but nothing changes. They still feel these old feelings, and they're just trying to stuff them down or resist them. Well, what you resist persists. Because you're not coming to terms, you're not accepting and surrendering to these old feelings. There's an excellent read called Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by David Hawkins. And it alludes to this very idea that instead of spiritually bypassing, instead of trying to spiritually bypass your quote unquote negative states, these unwanted states, and you're wanting to shift, you have to paradoxically accept them, accept that they're there, recognize them, and acknowledge the feeling, the sensation, acknowledge the thought. Because that is the first step whereby you can then release it and then make space for the new. Because when you accept it and acknowledge it and release it, it also serves as a springboard to reorient your attention to what you do want, and that's imagination. That's where you start to use the imagination. That's the second phase of the RISE method. It's the recognition and then the imagination. So we're letting go. Okay, we're coming to terms with this lower vibration state that we've been accustomed to living. And when we can come to terms with that and accept that and acknowledge whenever those states arise in our life, because it's not just a one and done deal. Okay, there can be more or less significant moments in our life when we experience that, but all through your life, okay, there's going to be a cyclical return, like think of the hero's journey, it's a cyclical process of coming to terms with suboptimal states, suboptimal thoughts or feelings, recognizing them, releasing them, so then you can make space for the new and then surrender to the new. Surrender the old self up to the new self and recognize that you are that version of yourself that you desire to be now. You are perfect now. And again, this comes after you've done this initial work, because that's how you can effectively shift, raise your vibration, and then begin to get coherent with the lifeline that you desire, right? Because as we've spoken about previously, there is this quantum field, okay, this realm of infinite potentiality, this space of variations, if you're familiar with reality transurfing, the infinite space of variations, okay, from which you can walk down at this very moment based on how you're vibrating, based on the electromagnetic frequency you are emanating. And so when you can shift that vibration by recognizing the lower states and then using that to help imagine the ideal state and then surrendering to that, you then only need to simply act. Just as though you're going to get your mail, or you're going to get a cup of coffee, with the same assuredness, the same confidence that the end goal is there. It will materialize. You just simply need to put one foot in front of the other and have it. Let yourself have it. That's the embodiment element, right? Getting embodied, making a plan, and simply acting on that plan. Now, as we go about embodying this new reality, in one sense, the shift has already occurred. You've already aligned yourself to that ideal reality, and nothing else needs to be done save maintain alignment and trust that after having surrendered that it's inevitable. Okay, but that isn't to say that there won't be moments on that journey where these past beliefs, these past narratives might crop up, or certain conditions externally might try to shape and influence and alter our vibration, this new vibration we're living in, because when you've become so accustomed to the conditions, the external conditions around you that have manifested as a result of you living from a particular frequency, once you make that shift internally, okay, it's going to take time, it can take time, and it takes more or less time depending on your conviction for the external to shift and reflect the internal. Okay, and you can think about a glass of water, and if you were to swirl a glass of water, when you've been living from the outside in for so long and having the external shape the internal, what you've done is created a momentum. There's been a momentum that's created. And so it's easier for you to allow the external to shape the internal. But when you make this shift and start living from the inside out, what are you doing? You're reversing that, right? You're turning the tides. You're shifting the momentum. So in the initial process of that, it can become confusing. Water gets confused. It's reorienting to the new direction until it becomes easy and effortless to maintain the momentum in the new direction. And it's the same for you when you are altering your vibration. When you are aligning yourself with the true reality, the reality that you desire, whatever that may be. And so to help you in this process and to give you an exercise that you can actually use, an embodied exercise you can use to help get in tune with the electromagnetic energy that you are continually emanating on a regular basis right now as you watch this video and right now as I'm speaking to you. How can you get in better tune with that to be more grounded, more present in your body, and then from that place act as you desire? So this is a simple exercise derived from Qigong, which is an ancient Taoist practice of moving Qi, our life force, our energy, through the body, and it really helps to connect the external with the internal environment. So when you're very intentional with this process and you sync the movements with your breath and with your visualization, over time, it's going to become more natural for you and easier for you to feel the actual energetic field you're emitting. So, standing with your feet slightly further than shoulder width apart, just have a slight bend in the knees. And the first thing you just want to do, standing nice and tall in your spine, is just take a moment to breathe. Feel your breath beginning in your belly and then up into the chest. And then relax. And you want to maintain that rhythm of breathing. And so now we're going to use our hands to envision ourselves strengthening what is called a torus field, because the torus field is the energetic field that we're emitting. It looks like, if you think of an apple, there's the core, and then the energetic field emits out and then comes back through and continues in that direction. So you can work either direction. I'll go two different ways, and you can work either direction, and the main intention is to focus on the flow, that current of chi, of your energy surging through your body. Again, this can be helpful to just simply ground you for the day. It can also be very potent as it relates to actually healing your body if you are conscious and intentional with this. So, to begin this, you're going to take a deep breath in, arms extend up to the sky. And on the exhale, you're just going to let the arms fall through, down through the core, all the way, and feeling that energy travel into the ground. Now it's going to travel back up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in, drawing the energy up to the sky. Exhale, falling down through the spine, into the legs, into the earth. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. And so we're going to do the same exact thing, but just reverse the direction of the arms. So now you're going to breathe in, raise the energy up the spine, out through the crown of the head to the sky. Exhale, arms falling out and coming back through the feet, through the legs. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And we'll do that one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. You could just hold there for a moment, feeling your feet connected to the earth. Just take a moment to breathe into your belly, into your chest. And use that to begin to tune in to your body. And moreover, how you're consciously connecting with the feelings in your body, with the feeling of your body. Because something about electromagnetic energy, the electromagnetic energy that you emanate, is that it is a mixture of your thoughts and your feelings that create this electromagnetic field. It's also understood as brain and heart coherence. So when we can situate ourselves in the ideal thoughts, mix with the feelings of those ideal thoughts, what would it feel like to be the person that believes that they're worthy of their success, of their wealth and their health? The person that is inevitably going to achieve those things, how do they feel? And how do they think? When you can mix those, okay, you create this coherent electromagnetic field that gets you online with your desired reality. So thank you so much. I hope this empowered you today. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, Leave any comments if you have any questions or any experiences. I want to hear how the exercise works for you. Any thoughts on vibration that we discussed today. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. And until next time, let's rise.